coming up on the Outside of Sunday podcast. I mean, you have a massive following. It's like 65,000 plus followers. Were you intentionally trying to like build a following, or were you just having fun?
Yeah, so I started Instagram just having fun, just posting my life, and then it just kind of took off. My brother was just the kindest person I knew. He would always put other people first, and I was like, how does this happen to someone like him? Like, I always known of like God, Jesus, but it was something in the past. I didn't know that Jesus was alive. And out of a sudden, I started crying. I couldn't stop, and it was not crying because I was sad. It was just like such a wave, like relief, peace. I've never felt that much peace before. I was just blown away. I was just really like, I can manifest what I want, and I can put it out there in the universe. And now I'm like, the universe, like, it's all created by the creator. Like, someone had to create the universe. Like, how did I say I trust the universe?
Hey, you're listening to the Outside of Sunday podcast. I'm Krista, and here you'll find genuine conversations and inspiring testimonies, as well as biblical encouragement on how to live your faith in and outside of Sunday. Hey, Outsiders, welcome back to the podcast. It's Krista here today, and I'm with Johanna. Liana. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. But thank you so much for being here. It's so nice to be sitting with you finally. We talked about this last year, getting together, and then it's finally worked out. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me here. I feel like so blessed to be here today. I started listening to your podcast when I was just growing in my faith. I started to get more interested in all of this. And yeah, it's such a like full circle moment to be here.
So cool.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's a blessing to me. So thank you. Well, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff this morning, but the most exciting thing I think is your testimony. But before we get into that, let's just get a bit of what is happening with you right now. I know you recently got married. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I got married, and I feel like wedding planning was so much fun. I really loved it. And I think I missed it a bit after the big day. So that's actually why I started also my new business, content creation for weddings. Ooh. And yeah, I'm a content creator. I do that. I'm originally from Germany, so you might hear a little accent. And I moved to New Zealand 6 years ago, made it my home. And yeah.
Cool. Can you tell me a little bit about content creation for weddings? So I suppose you have like a wedding video, you have a wedding photographer. Yeah. So is content creation just like kind of like the third arm of that?
Yeah. So that's kind of something that just started, I think, over the last 2 years becoming more popular. And I had a content creator at my wedding, and I found it so special to have those little clips like your best friend would film it on the phone.
Cool. Without your best friend having the pressure of doing
exactly.
that. Yeah,
we actually had a unplugged ceremony, and people didn't even, I think people understood it wrong, and they thought no phone the whole time, which was actually, my family, I think they understood it wrong, but which was actually quite nice because everyone was really in the moment. And I think that's so precious because nowadays, if we film stuff, we look through it through the phone instead of being in the moment. Yeah. And I really enjoyed looking back, still having those memories, but someone captured them, not from the outside. And it's also more like the raw and real thing. So it's not a videographer who really makes beautiful,
like cinematic,
like a
gorgeous
film, kind of like a movie. It's more like those little clips. Yeah, those real raw moments.
Sounds more personal. Yeah. Oh, cool.
So, I'm really excited for this new journey.
I'm excited for you. Does it have like a separate account, a name?
Yeah, so it's called like Honey Stories, and the honey is actually also in the Bible. Honey stands for, I hope I pronounce it, prosperity? Yeah, I think, or provision.
And like health as well, like
health,
wholeness,
and my husband is also a beekeeper, so that was like those two. Do you know what it has to be with honey?
I feel like so many Christians are beekeepers. I don't know what it is, but it is like all throughout like the Old Testament. You know, the Promised Land was a land flowing with milk and honey. So there we go.
Yeah. So they actually milk and honey. I was first thinking doing that, and I was like, how do I stick to the honey?
Yeah.
So
cool. That sounds so cool. All right. Well, let's hear a little bit about Germany. So tell us about growing up over there. What was that like?
So I grew up in a little village. I actually looked up how many like residents, like 4,000 residents, and
A tiny village.
Like a tiny village.
That is so small.
There were like heaps of villages next to each other, but that was like the village I grew up in. And when I think back of my childhood, I just feel so much love, and I'm just so grateful for the experience, for like the home my parents built for us. And I grew up like in a Catholic church, and also if I think back of my primary school, it was really like Catholic as well. So I've always known God. I always say I've known of God, of Jesus, but I never truly knew him. So that came later. And family was always really important. We would always sit together for dinner. When I think back of my time in Germany, I really, really loved it.
It honestly sounds ideal. Really, really, really sweet time. Yeah. Oh, cool. And so what kind of has your journey been? So you had some exposure to God through the Catholic Church, but would you say that was, you had a faith in Christ back then, or was it more just about going to church together?
Yeah, so I try to really sometimes think back of, I remember like as a child, like we would pray together before going to sleep, or like go to church, and the story of Jesus for Christmas. And I feel like I also went through communion. I feel like it was always really like tradition, or like strict structure, kind of. I also went to a Catholic high school, and we would have Bible study. So I've always known of God. When I was like a teenager, I don't know, other things got more important. And I feel like I grew up with the core values of Christianity and what it's about. But I feel like only later, like recently, I truly accepted or like got to know Jesus and had an encounter that just changed my life. And I used to pray, but I feel like back then I wasn't sure if someone was listening. I wasn't like sure if someone hears me, like God
speaking to the void, kind of.
Yeah, and just sharing my thoughts. There were also some things, like some tough times in our lives where I would pray out of just desperation, but I wasn't really sure, like, so I feel like this connection was not there yet, but looking back at my life, I know that Jesus was there, like obviously along the way,
drawing you to him. Wow. And some of the hard, I don't want to pry, but like you mentioned having some hard times. Would that reflect on the time that your brother had? Can you tell us about your brother? Yeah,
so my brother had cancer, and the first diagnosis was when he was 16, I was 13.
Wow, so young.
Yeah, and it really, as a family, we were already close, and we try to look at the good and the bad, like it draws even closer, and also how fragile life is. So my brother had, like, they found a tumor and they had to remove it. And I remember just back then, I felt like I was in the wrong movie. Like it felt like, oh, this can't happen to us. It's not like, it just felt so unbelievable. And he got the tumor removed, and then it was all good again. But over the years, it came back. He needed another operation, radiation. Is
radiation, like therapy? Radiation therapy.
And then also he had chemotherapy twice. They said it was gone again, or like it was gone and then it came back again. So it was like during this time, like I really always scared that it would come back, like it.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, so it was 9 years in total. It's not that he was sick 9 years, like we lived so fully, or he lived so fully in those 9 years. There was one, like he had then a tumor in his brain.
Wow.
And of like, it was just, you just think like,
That's it.
yeah. And they could operate it. So, but they told him he could wake up not being able to move, or, and I feel like I blocked, like I was, I think 18, 17. I kind of just focused on like, it's going to be okay. Stayed positive. He was a really, really positive person. He was really strong. Like I think back and I'm just like, wow, you were so young and so strong. And I know that he also like prayed every morning and just thanked God for a new day. And the doctor said it's a miracle. Like after his surgery, he woke up and he literally moved everything straight away. And they just said that's such a miracle. And looking back now, I see so many miracles along this journey, this tough time. And the doctors even said he would have like 2 years, and he lived 9.
Wow.
So yeah, and then there was the next one was one on in his heart, which
so
was
they
not
just kept reappearing.
Yeah, so couldn't operate that. He did chemotherapy again, but then he decided to stop chemotherapy because it's not really living, and he decided to try other things like nutrition, and he. Like from the moment he stopped, he had 2 beautiful years. He went traveling. He went to South Africa, to Dubai, like heaps of beautiful experiences. And it was a really tough time, but also at the same time, beautiful how we had that time together and we really soaked up every moment. I also remember we sat down, or like he sat down with me sometime, and I just wish at that time I was as close to Jesus as I am now. I wish I had the faith and could get my strength through Jesus. We sat down and he was telling me like, if I'm not here anymore, and I remember that, like I was just like, I was like,
that conversation.
No, stop talking, kind of, I said to him. But he was like telling me, just know I'll be up there waiting for you. And that's something he left us as a note as well. I'll be up there waiting for you. And I think that carries us as a family. And now with my faith now and what I experience and what I know, I just know that this life here on earth is just like a little tiny thing.
Yeah.
And what's coming after is so much bigger. So yeah.
Did his journey through cancer, and then when he eventually passed, did that have any impact on your relationship with God?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think I was at some point just really angry, like just disappointed. Like, how can something like this happen to someone who is, my brother was just the most, like the kindest person I knew. He would always put other people first. And I was like, how does this happen to someone like him? I mean, you don't wish this on anyone, don't get me wrong. But I was so angry. And I remember I was praying, crying, praying, but I didn't really know if someone was listening. Like, I've got like, that was just me being so desperate. And I feel like looking back, I know that God was so close to me. Like, or to our family along the way. Like there were so many moments where I just look back and I'm like, he was walking right next to me. Like I remember one time I went for a walk. It was dark. I went through streets that I probably shouldn't have walked by myself, but I was just crying and I was like so numb. And I feel like God was with me the whole time, protecting me. And I wish, like looking back, like I wish back then I had the faith that I have now to just get through it with God by my side. I know he was with me, but I feel like so much has changed since then. And even with when I had the conversation with my brother about when he said, I'm going to wait for you up there, I wish I had the faith, because back then I was like, stay here, like, or I wish I had the faith that I have now, and I wish I could have talked to him a bit more about it, because obviously he prayed every morning.
He had some faith there.
And I think I was just so angry, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
Yeah. That must have been a massive journey to go through. But your brother sounds amazing.
Yeah,
What was his name?
Oliver.
Oliver sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What a guy to go through that. And just, he sounds, like you say, so positive, still so active, being able to go and travel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Still able to think about you as well and have those intentional conversations.
Yeah.
Because some people, they don't take the time to have those kind of chats when things are hard. So your brother sounds amazing. Thank you for telling us about him.
No worries. I just remember when we sat down, he also told me, because I had planned to go back to New Zealand. So I had traveled to New Zealand 2014 the first time, and I just really wanted to go back. And it was 2019. I had my flights booked for end of August, and he passed away start of August. But he told me, go and do it no matter what. Follow your dream. And I made him I made this promise to him. I have rebooked my flights for later then.
Yeah.
With everything happening. I feel like looking back now, I'm so grateful he said go and do it, because I feel like all of this, this whole journey and where I am now, led me to where I am now, sharing what I'm sharing.
Incredible.
I feel like it was all meant to be. Yeah.
And it's almost like he's a part of it, because he was so encouraging to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So cool. I suppose now we're kind of getting to that New Zealand chapter of your life. Yeah. First, I'd just love to know, what drew you to New Zealand to visit even in the first place?
So that was just after high school, work and travel. I feel like back then, 2014, it was just kind of the thing to do. Just knew go and do work and travel in Australia. So I was I'm not going to Australia. I'm going
further.
To New Zealand. Yeah. So I did that. I had no idea about New Zealand. I knew I was traveling to Auckland. I didn't know many places. I had a New Zealand book, but back then also social media wasn't what it is now. You have way more videos and stuff. So I had no expectations, which is sometimes I think the best. Yeah. So traveled here, I did work and travel, was 18, traveling around for half a year, and I just really, really loved the lifestyle. And I remember back then I was I want my kids to grow up here one day.
Wow.
And I was 18 back then, but I held on to that and always wanted to come back. When I went back to Germany, I actually felt into a whole depression, or I really wanted to go back. But there was also so much happening at the same time with my family. It was just a really dark time, kind of trying to push through and hold on to that dream in the future. And then 2019, packed my bags and did it. So yeah,
I was so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And so when did you start even posting on social media accounts and things like that? Because you have a massive following. It's 65,000 plus followers on, that's only me checking Instagram. I don't know if you do. Do you do TikTok as well? Wow.
Yeah, I do TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only exist on TikTok to post. I'm I can't be bothered with another thing to look through. That's just me personally. Yeah. But so you have a TikTok as well. Is it the same kind of size or?
15.
Oh, yeah. So either way, seriously impressive. So how did that kind of all start? Were you intentionally trying to build a following, or were you just having fun?
Yeah, so I started Instagram just having fun, just posting my life, and then it just kind of took off. And
how old were you? Sorry, when?
Oh, I think I was 18.
Oh,
So kind of I started sharing my travels to New Zealand. So just starting it, and I just kind of started growing. And I don't think about if I think about it, I'm whoa. I don't think I just.
The trick is not to think about it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, not to worry too much as well. Who's all watching? Maybe I don't know. But yeah, I've just really enjoyed sharing my journey, sharing my life. I kind of did I feel like you can go down to this. You can just see my personality change. Or I posted fitness stuff at some point, nutrition, mindset stuff. And then kind of I was trying to niche down, which was really not I don't want to niche down to a specific niche. I just want to share my life.
Yeah.
And now I'm sharing my faith journey, and I just want to share God in my life, like reflecting it on my Instagram, like what I do. So, yeah.
Well, it sounds kind of like a natural progression almost, because that's kind of how you started out, was just sharing your life and what you're doing in your life when it was traveling. And now your life has taken a bit of a change, and well, because of what the Lord has done.
Yeah.
So maybe let's get into that. Can you tell us about how the Lord, well, this encounter that you had with the Lord and your testimony? Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
So when I met my now husband, I can say husband now.
Husband. It's so cool. It's so like weird getting used to like first boyfriend, then fiance, and that's such a treat to say that, because it's only for a short
time.
Yeah. And then husband now.
Yeah. So when I met him in 2021 and we started dating, and he's Christian and his whole family's Christian, beautiful family. We at some point started talking about our faith, and I was like, yeah, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus, the Holy Spirit. Grew up Catholic. And he was like, it's not really not the same, or like different a bit, Christianity. And I didn't understand. Like, I was like, no, we like believe in the same. So kind of like that's when we started, like he would pray at night. He was like, don't forget to pray. And I would like, okay, I'll pray.
So sweet.
Yeah. I really love that about him, like that he was so like in his faith and like his values. And like I said, his family is Christian as well. And yeah, it just got me a bit curious, but it literally, like, that was 2021. Then actually when was the second lockdown? Was it? Yeah, it was August 2021, I think.
I'm just nodding, but I honestly can't remember.
I just remember, like, I think one point, like the vaccination stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When he got the first, I don't want to go too deep into it, but when he got the first shot, he had really bad heart issues.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I just remember I was crying, and like it was just really tough time. But I just remember that moment that his mom was praying over him. And I found it so beautiful seeing that faith and how she was laying her hands on him praying. I didn't have that faith back then yet. Like, I just saw that and found
Is that something kind of new that you'd never seen before?
Yeah, and like her strong faith and that Jesus can heal. Because I feel like I always known of like God, Jesus, but it was something in the past. I didn't know that Jesus was alive, and you can, Yeah. So that was a really, like, that's just something that's really stuck with me. And yeah, so that was like one point, I would say. Then in 2023, I just got more curious about learning about God and like Christianity. And trying to think, there was like we did like a worship, or like my sister-in-law invited me to come over. They do worship night, and there was one person prophesying, and I was just like blown away and crying, and just got more curious about it all. Like, I want to know more about this God that that I just experienced, kind of. So I went to church because I never experienced a Christian church. Like, Catholic church is, like I said, quite structured, like standing up, kneeling down. I don't know, just I'd never.
Because some of our listeners might not have even been through a Catholic mass service. Yeah. So it is quite, there's appropriate times to stand, appropriate times to sit. And do you kneel?
Kneel down. There's like a little
little soft
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you even call that?
I don't know.
Station, a little cushion thing.
Yeah.
That you kneel down on, and all the hymns are in a book. Is that right?
Yeah. And lots of repeating.
Quite formal.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's why I've maybe also never really enjoyed.
But then some people love the formal.
Yes.
But yes, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
So it was quite a cool experience to go to a church here, and so different. I didn't know what to expect, and so beautiful. And then I just wanted to, like, get deeper, and I was like started listening to worship music, started listening to Christian music. And I remember, like, so that's my encounter, like I think that's my like testimony.
Wow.
I was getting my U-boom, going into the bedroom, turning it on, like lights off, and just like worshiping, and I just out of a sudden I started crying.
Wow.
Like I couldn't stop, and it was not crying because I was sad. It was just like such a wave, like relief, peace. I've never felt that much peace before. I never cried that much. Like I had happy tears before, but not like that. And my hands were like tingly, tingly. Is that how you say it? Like and I was just blown away, and I just from that moment I just couldn't deny what I experienced, and I just wanted more, or like wanted to grow my faith. So that must have been end of 2023. I bought a Bible, started reading my Bible, start of 2024.
That's so cool. It's just amazing, like, how God can meet us in different ways. And, like, you were obviously searching for him, and then, he just chooses to just
I was searching
in that way.
Yeah, I was searching in all the wrong places before, I feel like.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because you mentioned briefly that something that you would talk about on your Instagram and social media platforms is that mindfulness.
Yeah.
And even I think we talked earlier about the law of attraction and everything. Can you tell us about your interest there, and how far did you go?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so I think that all kind of started probably also around the sickness with my brother. Like I was trying, like staying positive, trying to find something to just stay positive affirmations. And I think also at that time on Instagram, like it was quite heaps of like mindset coaches, spiritual, like universe, like that was kind of like a
trend,
hype trend. Yeah. So I got into that and just learned more about mindset. I mean, yes, it's interesting to understand how your brain works. But yeah, it was just like, I read this book, there's this book, like The Universe Has Your Back, and I was reading that, and I was just like, putting it out there to the universe. I think I was just searching for something. Yeah, but I never found what I was looking for, or
not down that road.
So I feel like all this spiritual like universe, so I never got into crystals or anything. I never believed in in that, but I was just really like, I can manifest what I want, and I can put it out there in universe, and I'm like the universe, like it's all created by the creator. Like someone had to create the universe. Like how did I say I trust the universe? But I feel like at that stage as well, I was like further down. Like even when I was in New Zealand, I was always chasing, always looking for the next goal to achieve, always the next thing and the next thing. Like I never felt at peace. And then once I met Jesus, or like at this encounter, I was like, I have so much peace in this. I don't have to try to find something outside to get this peace.
I suppose reflecting now on that time that you were kind of in that mindfulness, law of attraction, new age-ish stage of your life, what is something that you could say now to, I suppose, contrast that with your Christianity now?
Yeah. So I feel like so much seems beautiful, healing, and empowering at first when you do like this manifestation or like positive affirmations and all that, but the enemy doesn't show up in the dark times. So you have like, I manifest this and that, and that's maybe the good times, but then when you have a down, the enemy doesn't show up. And I think something that I realized, experienced, and learned is that God doesn't just want you to align your energy. He wants to hear your heart, and he doesn't want you to manifest peace. He wants to give you that peace that surpasses all understanding.
Yeah.
And there's this one quote in the Bible, I think, I wrote it down, Proverbs 3, 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding.
So good.
Such a good scripture. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. And I think that's something, like, I'm so trusting the Lord with everything now. Like, when there's anything that I don't know what decision to make, I know, like, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. I think that's just like, do not depend on your own understanding, because I feel like New Age, all that stuff is like, depend on your own understanding and it's you, blah, blah, blah. But when you have God on your side, it's all you need. And I learned that, and I feel like with that New Age stuff, I was searching, and I got so tired of, I am attracting this and that. I've got so tired of also being alone in it. I don't know how to explain it, but then when I
suppose, like, it's different. Like, when you pray, you know that the Lord hears you, and there's times where you can feel Him almost like whispering to your spirit.
Yeah.
But I suppose in the New Age, who are you talking to?
No idea what I was doing.
And if you do start talking to somebody, stop. Oh my gosh, like, no, don't go that way. No.
Can I just mention something here? And you can just
go for it.
I remember it was 2023, so just before I had started my more growing into my faith, we were on like this cruise overseas, Jules and I, and there was this one person who was a medium.
Yes.
And back then I was still so open to all of it, and she was telling me stuff about my brother, and I was like,
oh my goodness. Coming up next week on the Outside of Sunday podcast, what has it been like for your followers? Has sharing and starting to share your faith, was that a hard call to decide to do that publicly?
Yeah. I prayed so much for like courage. I prayed for the right words. Like when I go, I have like a prayer journal. Like when I go back, like every page, every entry, I was like, give me courage to talk about my faith. I also still had this comparison. Who am I to share it? Who am I to talk about God? I don't have all the answers. But then I just prayed about it heaps, and I just knew, who am I not to share my faith?
Hey, thanks again for listening to this episode of the Outside of Sunday podcast. If something made you laugh or cry or think a little deeper, please give this episode a like and leave us a comment. Your feedback blesses us, and we want to bless you right back. So every comment automatically goes in the draw for our monthly giveaway. Who knows, I might even read your comment out in a future episode. And hey, sharing is caring, so don't forget to let somebody you know about this podcast. Outside of Sunday is part of the Outsider Network and is made with the help of Inspirational Media.